It's all about the fabulous Cromwell course here at Nailcote Hall, and who better to tell us about it than owner Rick Cressman and some of the golfing stars enjoying the challenge.
Well, it's been a year where we haven't made any changes, but we've spent a lot of time manicuring it and really trying to actually bring the whole look of it right up to the absolute best that it's possible to make it. And all my greenkeeping team have worked incredibly hard to present a course that really is quite magnificent this year, yeah. I think we'll have a fantastic test for the professional players when they land on it.
Beats Augusta into a cocked hat. I think the character of the golf course is superb. You have different shots to play, and the layout is just second to none.
I think it's fantastic. I'd heard so many rumours before I got here, I was terrified. But I think it plays beautifully. What an asset to the hotel.
It's a tough opening hole. You've just got to hit it in the middle of the green. It's a bit deceptive. The right-hand bunker, if you stood on the first tee, you'd see so many people in the right-hand bunker. The only thing to do is stand up there, play the yardage to the middle of the green, leave the pin alone, middle of the green, you're not going to be far from the stick.
Roddy's Bank statistically plays the easiest hole championship week over the years. Very flat green, probably the flattest green here over the Nailcote Hall. There's two bunkers just short. It's a reasonably big green as well. Wherever you go, it will offer a birdie putt. And at 114 yards, it's perfect yardage for most of the guys just to hit a sand wedge in there.
Woozy's Pond was named after me last year, I think, and I didn't manage to go in last year, but I went in this year. But one thing you've got to do on the third hole is you've got to try and pitch it past the flag and screw it back to the flag, and sometimes with the wind spinning around a little bit, it's a little tricky to get the right club. The green slopes towards you a little bit, and you're coming downhill, and you just got to make sure you get the right distance. I don't think it'll screw back into the water, but there is that thought of it doing it.
Actually, it's one of the hardest holes on the course. You don't want to be long, you don't want to be short, you don't want to be left, you don't want to be right. And if you're on the green, you've got the devil's job to two-putt anyway. Split level green, and it's up and over and away from you, so walk off there with a 3 and I'm always very happy.
On the fifth, if you have to get between the trees, so if the flag's on the left, you really need to draw it around the trees, and if it's on the right, you need to fade it into the green. So quite an intricate hole. You need to be able to control the spin and look really well on it. So it's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, well, Jacqueline's fallen there a few times in the past. When they put the pin on the back, it's really tempting, obviously, to hit the perfect shot. And I've gone over the green on a couple of occasions. I've probably as many birdies there as I've had bogeys over the years. Go for the middle of the green. Make sure you hit the green, because the problems start when you miss greens. Patience is a key. Don't drop a shot and then start attacking and your score goes skywards.
The flight of the golf ball is so important, because a lot of the good players hit even a 9-iron there, and they can land on the top and spin right back, or they land a yard past the hole and they're in the water at the back. So it's quite heavily contoured, but I try to get all my amateurs to hit it just a bit to the right edge. It's much wider at the right edge. Even if it tickles that little old oak tree, it seems to come down on the edge of the green, and you can make 3 or at worst 4. But if you go in the water, it's a high number. You just have to judge the flight of the ball. You have to know how far you hit it. I'd like to see Bernard Langer around here, because he's pretty good at that.
Very small green. There's water on the back left-hand side, and the green's not flat either, so you've got a pitch on the front portion which is slightly angled towards you to hold it on the green. So the best angle of attack is to go straight or slightly to the right-hand side of the flag, and that should stay on the green. If it doesn't, it will probably go into the back bunker, which is very, very deep, but that's better than going in the water. So it's one of those holes where there's not much room for error. You've got to get it into maybe a 3 or 4 yard square area, and then you should have a putt for birdie.
It is a tricky one, yeah. It plays about 145 yards, slightly uphill to an elevated green, which makes it very difficult to get the ball on the green. It's for me, it's probably about an 8-iron, and if you miss the green, it's very difficult to get up and down. It's big, it's a really tough shot. Short, if you're in the bunker, that's a really tough bunker. So it's probably the hardest hole on the course at Nailcote, and you're always happy to walk off with a 3.